A number of my friends have mentioned that they're having some challenges, some difficulties, and I wanted to address, um, some topics surrounding why I think that is. And I'm not going to mention any names because I suspect that some of you that are watching this applies directly to you, and so I'm going to make this generic. Do you sometimes feel like you have the basics that you need and even more? If you look at the 7 billion people in the world and what they have as far as hot water tanks that give them plenty of water for a shower, 3 meals a day or 1 meal a day or whatever, but plenty of nourishment. You're getting at least 1,000 or 1,200 calories a day, probably double or triple that. You have a pretty normal life. You have friends, you have business associates, some people in the community or in your neighborhood know you and like you. Life shouldn't be that bad. Maybe you've even achieved some financial success. Maybe it was hard earned, maybe it was easy earned, maybe it was inherited, but you're not poor. Maybe your parents even paid for college for you, and you had that huge boost that most people in the world didn't have. And you're not horribly unattractive, and yet you don't seem to have that perfect other person in your life. You don't seem to have a job that you wake up each morning thrilled to do, whether you're working for yourself or someone else. And you just feel like, ah, what's really, great, another day. What's the point? And now I'm not saying depressed like suicidal. I'm just saying kind of blah about life. And I don't know what the perfect solution is to help you pull yourself out of it. Nobody else can pull you out of that funk. But I sure hope you can kind of think of ways in which you might be able to do it, pull yourself out of this funk. And I wanted to offer a suggestion of something that's helped me, and I still have my low days and my high days, but something that has helped me a lot. And that has been that I have the last few years, I have changed my understanding of the world, my philosophy. I've grown, I believe. About 10 years ago, I made a big change from being a pretty darn normal mainstream person to reading on a lot of topics. I never got into the conspiracy theory stuff, but I got into a lot of things that are not mainstream. Your next door neighbor is not spending the time reading books, listening to lectures, etc. That you could be. Anyway, I delved into this and found a lot of what I consider to be truths, and that came about because I was thinking, and because I developed a set of principles that I choose to live by, and I have them pretty firmly set in my mind, and I evaluate each obstacle, each challenge that comes in life by those principles. It makes it so easy for me to decide yay or nay on things. Now, it doesn't help if I'm looking at, should I start a business making and selling biscuits, or should I start a business making and selling dog toys? Yeah, principles aren't going to help with that. But for matters of interpersonal dealings and ethical decisions, moral decisions, that kind of thing, gosh, it's nice having principles. And you can't really have those that are well thought out unless you do the hard work and do the thinking yourself. Don't rely upon your politicians or priests or parents to tell you what's right or wrong or what you should believe or what you shouldn't. Investigate it for yourself. You can use that as a starting point, and you'll probably find that they were right about a lot of things. And then you're going to find that they were wrong about a lot of things. But I guess my suggestion here is to develop a set of principles. Keep them only so long as they are the best you can find. Constantly re examine. If someone gives you a suggestion to change your principles, be very open minded to it. Look at it, compare it to what you already believe, and see if you want to adopt the new ones. And if it's better, adopt it. Don't stick to your old dogmas just because of habit or social pressure. Screw them. Do what you believe in, do what you feel is right. Be good. So these are not things that are going to immediately pull you out of a funk. I do think, though, that over the many years, I've now 10 years been living a morally consistent, intellectually honest life. And I still make mistakes, but overall, I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I will and won't do. And it's been pretty comforting and a pretty happy way of life living this way. So this is just one suggestion. And of course, on my channel, I have many more ideas that I hope are of some help. So please subscribe, and I will be back to chat with you on another episode.